Hello, welcome to my review of our Auto Trail V-Line 670S Part 1. We ordered it late 2020, expecting delivery in April 2021 and took delivery in September 2021. Was not entirely unexpected, COVID, Brexit, you name it. We were thrilled when we collected it. After 10 years of motorhoming in a 5.4 metre van all over Europe, my partner and I decided that we needed a van with a permanent bed. Coach built was out of the question. We can't accommodate a big van, and we like the side opening door and the rear doors. There were several similar layouts by some well-known manufacturers, but high on our wish list were underslung LPG tank, three-way fridge, a spacious mid-situated bathroom so that we could use the swivel seats without wasting the driver's side. We wanted good thermal insulation with cab blinds and attractive interior fittings. After much research, video walkthroughs and scrutinising the specs as best as I could on the internet, the V-Line 670S was the only one which seemed to offer this combination. So with the Lux Pack, the Pano View roof, 9-speed automatic gearbox with 160 brake horsepower upgrade and finished in gold and white, it seemed ideal. We added to that a tow bar and a Tira cycle rack with the sliding mechanism that allows the rear doors to open with the cycles attached. It fitted the bill and came to just over £58,000. Value, I thought. I had been in contact with Auto Trail Direct to talk about the build and specify it, but we had to buy it through a dealer. Unfortunately, there was one in Christchurch just down the road from where we live. It's a very smart outlet and it looked very promising. Now, firstly, I am a realist. I know that everybody has different requirements, compromises have to be made, and I knew that I would be modifying, adding things, fine-tuning to suit our requirements. What I didn't expect was a catalogue of problems and quality issues that I'm still dealing with 3 months on, or the battles with the service department at our local agent to even acknowledge that some of the problems existed. I expected some snagging issues. It's a bit like buying a new house. I also made some bad assumptions. I did not consider that Auto Trail would fit a 70 amp hour leisure battery with a charger to match. The fresh water tank would be smaller than on our 5.4 metre van, that it would fit an aerial terminal and a power socket inside the van, but no TV aerial or wiring, that the Pano View roof was an alternative and not an extra to the lifting roof you would expect above your kitchen area. All my fault is in the detail. I would have gladly paid for all these extras and upgrades if there had been options. After all, this was intended to be our final van purchase. Some other issues are poor design detail choices and penny pinching by Auto Trail that have spoiled the ship for a ha'porth of tar, in my opinion. All will be explained in the following clips and videos. I had no original intention of making this review. It's very time consuming and not really in my skill set. The articles, literature and videos I viewed prior to purchase were very flashy and professional. They worked because I went for it. I do wonder now, though, if the designers and the sales guys connected with motorhomes actually used them. This is an honest owner's review of the good, the bad, the ugly of the last 3 months of ownership, with my fixes and modifications where appropriate. The following may be useful to anybody considering ownership of a new van of any make. I imagine all the manufacturers get a little complacent with success. It's in the nature of low volume, high value production. The designers might say yes, The accountants say no. It's the way it is. First, the good, and there is lots of good, and the reasons why we chose this model. The 9-speed automatic gearbox with 160 brake horsepower upgrade is great. I thought the 6-speed manual was a fantastic box, but now we're approaching old fogeydom, we opted for an easy, lazy driving experience. It is so smooth that you would not believe it has 9 speeds. You won't see top gear unless you are doing 70-ish, basically motorway. And you only know this if you slip it into manual mode because the display only shows D in auto. I particularly like the way it changes down, similar to a manual, according to conditions. That is, slowing for junctions and descending hills. Fuel consumption is about 30 miles per gallon, which is not great, but it's what we expected. Another reason for our choice of the V-Line was the 25-litre LPG tank. There is a gauge that is not very easy to see on the dash by the driver's door. After 3 trips away, we were not sure about the gas consumption. The gauge started to fluctuate from full to near empty, so we topped up and it only took 8 litres, £6 worth, so that was encouraging. But I don't know yet what the gauge will display when it's down to 2/3. The Zent infotainment unit. This was part of the Lux Pack upgrade. Thought it was a good idea, looks the part. Nice big screen, now not too sure. The installation is a bit sloppy. All the redundant wiring was left hanging out of the rear, which compromised the space for the unit. The USB and HDMI inputs were not extended to an accessible panel. Only the one USB extension was shoved into the glove compartment. This had to go somewhere because it's needed for the software updates. The GPS antenna was mounted below the glove compartment underneath the metal frame of the window blind. Totally useless. Now resighted to just below the dash. First time map updates were a bit of a nightmare. Unbeknown to me or the dealer, the license is on the Maps flash drive. The unit is slow to boot up and the touchscreen is a little unresponsive. The UK maps have proved a little disappointing so far, and we have been on some bizarre detours, but we were successful finding a nearby campsite. In retrospect, I would recommend using the lift-up panel above the radio to mount an 8 or 10-inch tablet for the sat-nav, reversing camera, plugged into the auxiliary socket for audio. I think it would prove more versatile and probably be cheaper. The front seats, they're standard captain seats. Pretty much every vehicle we've fitted with these. Are very comfortable. Nothing more to say. Easy to use. Right, the control panels for the general systems and heater and water heater controls. Very good location. Easy to stand up to and operate. Very simple, straightforward. Both heaters very quiet, unlike our last diesel heater, which sounded like a jet engine and smelt like one too. The fridge. It's probably the cheapest in the range. It's perfectly adequate for us. You can actually remove that door off the ice box and give yourself a little bit of extra volume. It's got a very on-trend blue light, which my partner says makes all the food look like it's just come out of a mortuary. But anyway, I don't suppose that would bother any men. So there you go. It could do with being 10 mil higher because it actually catches on the fitted carpets, but you know, hey ho. There we have the 2-burner hob, an integrated sink unit. It's quite compact, but it's quite adequate. And there's a gas oven and grill below. When using the grill, there is a slide out panel there which wasn't obvious initially. Maybe we didn't read the instructions, I don't know. But anyway, that stops the controls getting overly hot, something we didn't discover for a while. The under sink cupboards and storage. I I think you can just see a platform that I've made there. There's loads of pipes and wiring and things in these cupboards that are a little bit exposed by putting things on top of them. I suspect there might be some sort of damage. So, but I have put foam pads down and tried to mitigate the problems. I think that door might have been better on the other side. But anyway, that's where the cutlery drawer was, right down there. It's not very deep, so it didn't take long knives and things, but it's also very tall. So anyway, we use that area for, as you can see, cloths and things, and we've made a separate cutlery tray that now slides on top of it, and it's a lot deeper, and that's it in position. There is a large fly screen for the sliding door. Should prove useful. We haven't needed it yet, but Scotland maybe. The wardrobe. It's quite narrow and constrained in this part of the van. But there's the wardrobe. It had, well, it's got 2 doors. And so as you can see, it's quite compact to get around here. Now originally it had a bar up the middle, up there, from there. The catches to work on, well, it was tight enough as it was without fighting your way around a central column, so I stuck magnetic catches on it anyway and removed the bar and fitted the light, which is pretty essential because it's dark in here, as you can see. The bathroom. Now, this is one of the features of the van that I really liked on paper. The drop-down sink saves you space when you're not using it. The showers. The trigger shower looks compact, but it's very effective and it doesn't waste water. There are some peculiar shelves down there, which are not that useful because while you're in motion, I can't imagine anything staying on them. And there's no storage for your toilet fluids and things. Standard swivel seat. One amusing feature: when I'm sat on the toilet, my legs don't touch the floor. So, hence the little cut-down stool, which does make it usable. Right, now to the rear lounge. One of the reasons we went for this van was so we could leave a bed up permanently in here, and it has worked very well on the trips that we've been away with so far. Very neat, spacious overhead lockers. The lighting again is superb. These spotlights are very effective at night, and it's still got the strip lights as well along there, which provide a good level of lighting. Both the seats raise up for access to the cupboards below, and you slide out these to the middle. One thing we did find out after about 3 days of sleeping on it, that these telescopic slides migrated back home, which answered one little mystery while we were losing support in the middle, but that was an easy fix. You just strap them together. So I doubt that we'll ever use the cable in the back here. This window, major design problem. Can you see why? There's the sliding door open. Yes, need I say more? The underseat cupboards, storage areas, have doors at the rear against the back doors, but they don't have them on this face, which might have been useful.